This is the installation of the Daedalus Minima tail tidy on a 2014 BMW Rnine. The package is nicely detailed and it comes with everything necessary to make the conversion. Some of you might know you have different options when purchasing the tail tidy from Daedalus. I selected the option of the red light with external Rizoma Club Turn Signals and the plate holder below it, and all the lights on the tail tidy are LED. It is important to clarify that the installation instructions are not included in the package, and the instructions on Daedalus website are for the tail tidy Classic only. So this installation will be helpful to you as there are steps not included in the Classic instructions. I pre-assembled the tail tidy prior to installing it to save the trouble of doing it on the bike. First step is to remove the caps where the Rizoma Club Turn Signals will be installed. Once they are removed, insert the signals and tighten the nut. Make sure to tighten them lightly so you can adjust them later. Resecure the cap and tighten accordingly. Repeat the process on the other side as well. The plate holder comes already assembled, but you will need to loosen it up to install it. First, loosen the small screws on the front and the long bolts on the back will slide down easily. Screw in the long bolts into the tail tidy until they're flush on the top. Do the same thing with the two bolts. And that's it for the assembly of the tail tidy. Time to work on the bike now. Start by removing the seat and then lifting the ECU to have access to the connection below. The electrical cable will be secured by a clip on the bottom of the ECU. Simply insert a flat screwdriver to loosen it up. Then press the two lugs on the side of the connection to disconnect the cables. Using a T25 wrench, remove the 4 bolts on the bottom of the OM tail assembly and save them for later. In my case, I have a bracket for a side bag that also needs to be removed. Once the 4 bolts are removed, the tail assembly will come down, rested on the wheel, as you will need to get the wire out as well. Before pulling the wire, make sure to remove the other clip holding it in place. If you find it difficult to remove it, you can also try cutting the zip tie and leaving the clip in place, as it will be later reused. Make sure to remove the clip on the wire connection, as it will not fit through the opening. After the wire is out, take the assembly away. To install the tail tidy, first insert the wire through the opening where the OM assembly went through, and then, using one of the OM bolts, hold the tail tidy in place. Screw in the rest of the bolts. I use longer bolts to hold the side back bracket in place, but you can just reuse the existing OM bolts. With the tail tidy in place, now connect the main wire and make sure you hear the connectors click. I will be reusing one of the clips to secure the wiring. All I have to do is to replace the zip tie on it. With the connection properly installed, return the ECU to its place and secure its cover. Before tightening the plate holder, apply red Loctite on the two long bolts that attach to the tail tidy. One drop should be enough. For the two small screws that keep the plate in place, I use blue Loctite in case I ever have to adjust them. The plate holder will feel a little bit loose, but once the Loctite cures, it will be very solid. The connection for the turn signals is very easy. The two turn signals will have matching plugs, and the plate holder has its own very different connection. Make sure to test the lights after all the connections are done, as I later found out that I connected the turn signals incorrect, so what you see here on the video, just switch them over. Note, the 2014 model does not require resistors, and my bike has not shown any codes or lights on the dashboard. Once everything is connected, zip tied and tested, reinstall the seat, align the turn signals, and tighten the nuts on them. This is what the Daedalus Minima tail tidy looks like with the curving seat. It is almost flush, and the gap between them is good enough. And this is a picture of what it looks like with the unit garage side back. This is the reason why I bought the Minima and not the Classic. I did not want the turn signals to be on the way of the side back bracket. The Minima also works with the passenger seat, and there's plenty of room between each other. But I must be honest, the best look, and what the Daedalus tail tidy was made for, is for the rear seat cowl. The fitment and gap are perfect and spot on. This is what the tail tidy is made for. I finish up the detail by installing a silicone license plate frame. This will reduce any noise vibration, will be easy to clean, and it will hide the sharp edges of the plate. It was also difficult to find a black frame of my liking, so this one did the job. I hope this video has shown you how to install a tail tidy and guides you through the steps. One final note, the tail tidy will always be on, day and night, but it will lighten brighter when you press the brake. And this is it for the installation of the Daedalus Minima tail tidy on a 2014 BMW Rnine. I hope you liked the video, and see you soon.